All right, so I'm currently on the phone with Sebastian. He's another musician that reached out to me about the interview series. So I'm going to go ahead and give him the chance to introduce himself.
What is up, everybody? My name is Sebastian. I am a current college student majoring in music, and grateful and excited to be in this podcast.
Awesome, thanks. So with these interviews, I always like to start in the beginning and find out, some details about when you first found music and, what about it was inspiring to you and made you want to pursue it.
So, from a history, my family history, my grandpa was a musician, and he was the only musician in my family, and that was it. Not until I came along and I was introduced into the clarinet, which was in our elementary, and so I decided to give it a try. And the only reason I give it a try is because I watched Squidward on SpongeBob, and so it just took off from there. Played it through from elementary to high school. I eventually picked up the tenor saxophone for jazz, um, and it just took off from there. It just happened to be that I had that music in me that my grandpa had,
Mm-hmm.
um, and my family found it fascinating because he was the only one that did music, and his name was also Sebastian, so it was kind of like ironic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty. Um, that's where everything started once I picked up the clarinet, and it eventually led me to where I'm at right now.
Okay. And so, starting with the clarinet, I assume that you participated in like the traditional band curriculum in school and then also private lessons.
Correct. Yes, I went through all of that, bunch of auditions and all that classical stuff, which I
Mhm.
really love. But now I transition more into the industry side of it.
Okay. And so, what was kind of your next steps after the clarinet? Once you decided that you did want to keep music in your life, how did you continue that?
That's a good question because in high school, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do now with my life? What's after high school? What college? But the thing is, I already know I want to do music, but I had no idea what kind of music. Many people think, oh, music, you could go into teaching, performance, or just teaching like theory. But quite frankly, there's so many branches of music where you could go into, and that's
Mm-hmm.
where I was stuck. But what really pushed me the most is the fact that I want to work in the industry. I want to be like a producer or a well-known artist myself. Um, so what pushed me to that was the fact that I started making my own music in my bedroom just for fun,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of pushed me. And that's I had family out here in California in Los Angeles, and I used to visit all the time. And it was so fun to see how much the industry's like available here. And I just started looking into it, YouTube videos, reading articles, and it just became like my thing, like my dream. Like I want to do that.
Okay. And so once you did kind of have that vision of what you wanted out of it, what were like the material steps that you started to take to make that happen?
It was slowly. I think the material wise, my parents gifted me like a MIDI keyboard,
Mm-hmm.
which came with Ableton, and it was just small steps from there. I just started messing around. Um, it it was I just trying to imagine how like I could speak it off from my own words, but it was just imagine just a kid in their bedroom just like color, like if I was coloring but just with music,
Mm-hmm.
and it just developed into much bigger things where it led me into uh well, now I just made a commercial for Disney, and I made a song. I worked with the trailer music for The Mandalorian.
Oh, awesome. Very cool. Um, so is that the type of thing that you want to pursue with musical career, is doing things like on kind of like the back end of it, soundtracks and things like that?
Yes, but my ultimate goal is to be a well-known artist. Like I said, I really want to have my own recording studio. Um, the reason I got to do the Disney gig was because of a school project, and really exposed me to the other side of the background side of it, like the soundtracks. But what's on my vision list and what's my biggest goal of mine is to be out there, be like a well-known artist, and and like work with big people. That's my biggest drive, and that's the reason I moved out here, for to be exposed to that type of scenario.
Okay. And do you also participate in, like, I want to say like the garage band type scenario, but I mean, what I mean is, are you also working with bands to create music and things like that rather than just doing like soundtracks?
Uh, yes. So from my friends from school, I got to meet like a couple of former guys. They're all of them are great with their theory, and like um, we've been messing around with them. We go up to Camarillo to my friend's house, and we just jam around and see what we come up with. Like
Hmm.
um, we just jam around, and then if we like a something that we did, we just record it, and then we just keep building off of that. So yeah, I've been messing with that a little bit. It's something that I didn't had back at home in Illinois. Um, not but now that I have that exposure here, I'm really enjoying that.
Okay. And how do you feel that, that situation, is helping you have an outlet to pursue music? Are you doing vocals? Or are you playing an instrument? Are you just producing? Like, what is your contribution to, what you want out of it?
Um, I would say that since I did this mostly myself until really recently, where I had help from my friends. Um, I learned to play the guitar and the piano myself. I taught that myself.
Hmm.
Um, I taught myself how to work with dolls. And it was up to just into college where I got exposed to the scenario where like you could get help from others. Um, yeah, that's I'm fairly new to working with people, but I'm really enjoying it.
Excellent. And so, what is the current project that you're working on? And where would you want to see it go? Aside from the general ideas that you've already said.
Right now, I am working on my own song. Um, Fairly a new process for me. Getting help from friends. It's fairly new to me. New ideas. But that's my biggest project now. My New Year's resolution is to create a song that's that's well created, that will people will enjoy for the summer. So yeah, that's my biggest project right now. Other than that, uh, the thing that I'm working on is finishing my bachelor's in music, and hopefully my career start taking off from there.
Okay, so you're kind of at that phase where you're hoping to have the next summer hit kind of thing.
Yes, yes. I know it's a probably like a huge step, but
Hmm.
we all dream of something. But really working hard on this song.
These days, you never know where it's going to come from. It can come from
Exactly. Yeah.
anywhere. Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, that's very cool. So once you are out of school, what do you see for yourself aside from continuing your current projects? Are you looking to add any like more projects to what you're working on?
Yes. I really other from the side of being an artist and working on my own music, I really want to get working into film composing or video game composing.
Hmm.
It is something that I always wanted to work for. Music. The reason I got into music was because of movies and video games. We can't have a movie or a video game without a soundtrack or music,
Hmm.
and I just ever since a young age, every video game that I played, the music was so great, and that's what motivated me to compose with for video game companies and stuff like that.
Sure, that's awesome. Have you gotten any work doing any video games?
No, not yet, but I got a I just submitted my application to work with a video game company, and so I'm just waiting for a response for that.
Awesome. That's very cool. Good luck. Um, so, why don't you share a couple of your favorite memories of the times that you've participated in music, whether it was learning clarinet all the way up to submitting your application to work with a video game company? What has impacted you and motivated you?
Honestly, the biggest impact that I've had was the fact that I got to be a drum major for my high school's marching band. Being the given the role of being the drum major, and given also the role to teach leadership to my uh, fellow peers, was honestly one of the biggest rewarding and realization that I had to push to teach or like do music for a living.
Hmm.
That was the biggest success that I I ever realized within myself. But obviously, there's more to come. Um, there's many successes to be succeeded. Right now, I got an internship at a recording studio called Revolver Studio. The guy's name is Michael Blue. Not sure if you guys are familiar with him, but Will Smith was in the studio a couple months ago recording his memoir. So that's another success of mine that I'm really proud of. Though it's just an internship, it could lead me to something big, you know?
Sure, definitely, absolutely. So you did mention that you're working on one song, but do you have anything out there, anywhere people can check you out and see what you're doing?
I did have some stuff out there. I just took it all down just um, to build my little fan base, you know. But the music wasn't that great. So I took it all down. I do plan to release some stuff in the next month. I do have an Instagram and Facebook page where people could follow me.
Sure.
So my Instagram is underscore Sebas, which is underscore SEBASSSSS underscore. So it's five S's with another underscore at the end. And my Facebook is Sebas, my nickname, Martinez, and you guys can find me there.
Awesome. And so I always like to give the people that I interview the opportunity to put out their last words. So just a message that you vibe with that you want to throw out there.
Definitely. I actually have two. One is don't be afraid to fail. I always like to tell people that there wouldn't be success if there wasn't for failure. So please take advantage of. If you fail, please take advantage of it and get better from there. So yeah, failure is a good thing. It's not. It is a bad thing, but you always got to understand that if it wasn't for failure, there wouldn't be success. The other thing is don't be afraid to be the dumbest in the room. This is a thing that I recently learned that to be the best in the room, you have to be the dumbest. And I found myself doing that lately when my buddies are way smarter than me in music, and I felt the dumbest. But after that, you will learn so much. You will learn from the people who are better than you, who are going to teach you. And yeah, take advantage of that.